My name is Christina Shea Johnson from Jefferson County Public School Trauma-Informed Care Team. Peer attention motivated behavior is often maintained by social reactions from classmates, and reducing those reactions is a crucial first step. When adult and peer responses are minimized, many attention-seeking behaviors begin to lose their effectiveness. However, removing the peer payoff alone is not enough. Students also need clear guidance about what does earn attention. The focus now shifts to intentionally reinforcing students who are displaying appropriate behavior. So social attention moves away from disruption and toward the behavior we want to see more often. Peer models and social comparison are powerful. When attention consistently flows to appropriate behavior, it provides a natural peer model and reduces the incentives for attention-seeking behavior to continue. An easy-to-use effective strategy is providing behavior-specific peer praise. Behavior-specific peer praise involves acknowledging what peers are doing right rather than giving general praise or focusing on what students are doing wrong. This might sound like noticing that a table group started their work right away and stayed focused, pointing out that several students raised their hand and waited to be called on, or acknowledging a group that solved a problem respectfully. The key is that the praise clearly describes the behavior that earned attention. This strategy works because it clarifies expectation and shifts peer attention towards appropriate behavior. It also models exactly what earns social recognition in the classroom. Students quickly learn which behaviors receive attention and approval, and many will adjust their behavior accordingly. When using behavior-specific peer praise, it's important to keep it specific, keep it brief, and frequent. Long speeches or overly enthusiastic praise can unintentionally turn attention back towards the adult. Short, clear acknowledgments are more effective and easier to sustain. In addition to using behavior-specific praise, teachers should also use what we call catch and release reinforcement. Catch and release reinforcement is a quick acknowledgement of appropriate behavior followed immediately by a return to instruction. It is used alongside behavior-specific praise to maintain a positive classroom climate, especially since many students without problem behavior are motivated by adult recognition. This might include saying something like, "Nice focus, row 2, while continuing to teach, offering a quick thumbs up or nod to a group, or adding a tally mark or point without stopping instruction. This strategy works because it keeps the instruction flowing while still delivering social reinforcement. It sends the message that appropriate behavior is noticed and valued, but it doesn't interrupt learning or create a performance moment. Catch and release reinforcement is especially useful during whole groups instruction or transitions when maintaining momentum is important. Another effective strategy is to use group-oriented reinforcement. Group-oriented reinforcement shifts attention from individuals to the collective, which helps reduce spotlighting and minimizing the chance that one student will disrupt to regain attention. In practice, this might look like the class earning points when most students are on task, table groups earning recognition for working together, or moving on with instruction once everyone is ready. The reinforcement is tied to group behavior rather than pointing out one student. This strategy works because it encourages positive peer pressure and builds collective responsibility. When the group benefits from appropriate behavior, peers are more likely to support each other and stay focused and engaged. It also reduces the incentive for a single student to disrupt because disruption no longer results in increased attention. Over time, group-oriented reinforcement helps establish shared norms and a sense that success depends on everyone's participation. The next strategy is positive peer modeling. This involves using peers as examples of expected behaviors without comparison or shaming. Instead of calling out what someone is doing wrong, the teacher draws attention to the peers who are doing it right. This strategy avoids comparison statements such as, "Why can't everyone be like Jan?" since comparisons can create resentment or embarrassment and can undermine the supportive classroom culture we're trying to build. This strategy might include asking students to notice how a group transitioned quietly or pointed out how classmates solved a disagreement respectfully. The focus stays on the behavior, not on how others fail to meet that expectation. This strategy works because peers are powerful models. It builds classroom norms without calling out problem behaviors, and it encourages imitation in a positive way. Students often adjust their behavior simply by seeing what earns attention and approval. In some cases, teachers may need to provide differential attention during disruptions. This includes intentionally attending to peers who are doing the right thing while ignoring the disruptions when it is safe to do so. For example, if a student calls out, the teacher might praise nearby students who are following expectations by acknowledging their focus, thanking them for staying engaged, or noting how maturely they handled the interruption. This strategy works because it weakens or removes the peer audience payoff. Attention is redirected away from the disruption and toward the appropriate behavior without confrontation. It also teaches peers that their reactions matter and reinforces the idea that staying focused earns recognition. Over time, this approach helps build a classroom culture where peers support learning rather than reinforcing disruptions. When appropriate, teachers may also use peer-delivered reinforcement. Now, peer-delivered reinforcement involves teaching students to acknowledge each other positively. This can include partner praise routines, group reflections that highlight who helped the group succeed, or structured feedback during cooperative learning. This strategy works because peer reinforcement is often more authentic and powerful than praise alone. It builds personal, pro-social peer interaction and reduces reliance on adult-centered attention cycles. When students learn to notice and acknowledge each other's efforts, positive behavior becomes socially reinforced in a sustainable way. It's important that peer-delivered reinforcement is taught explicitly and monitored to ensure it remains respectful and focused on behavior rather than personality. Reinforcing peers who display appropriate behavior works by shifting social attention away from disruption and towards behaviors that earn positive peer recognition. As you use these strategies, remember to reinforce behavior rather than students' personality. Keep praise brief and neutral. Focus attention on peers near the disruption and make expected behavior socially rewarding. When appropriate behavior earns attention and recognition, peer attention motivated problem behavior has far less reason to continue.